I saw this coming from an absolute mile away. I knew it was only a matter of time until they came for you as well. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video, and today's topic will be on the LGBT, mostly focusing on the lesbian, because they are being targeted. At first it was straight males, but now the crosshair and the rifle has turned over towards the lesbian community. And what I mean by that is that at the start, straight men were being targeted because straight men didn't find transgender women sexually attractive, because transgender women are men, and straight men don't like penises. Guess who else doesn't like penises? Lesbians. Who would have thought, eh? And because these gay women felt the need to stand up for their rights and for rights of straight women, they was told to leave their own pride parade, or because that they feel that they are being forced to believe that transgender women are real women.
Now that gay people have equality under the law and homophobia is uncommon, Pride isn't so much a protest anymore, but a party. But over the past few years, there's been another evolution. In 2022, many gay men and lesbians now feel that they are not welcome at Pride, that it's become a hostile environment for those who are same-sex attracted. And all of this has happened because prominent gay rights groups, such as Stonewall, have become captured by gender identity ideology. Stonewall, in fact, has redefined the word homosexual on its website and promotional materials to mean same-gender attracted rather than same-sex attracted. Other organisations, such as the BBC, have followed suit, perhaps unaware that the implications of this change are essentially anti-gay. At the heart of gay rights is the recognition of biological sex differences. Lesbians aren't attracted to people who identify as female, they're attracted to females. This shouldn't be a controversial thing to say. And yet this is what happened when a group of lesbians tried to march at a pride parade in Cardiff earlier today.
We're marching in a march.
At the moment...
No, I just want to make sure.
Yeah, you know now. Let me just explain to you, and it'll give you some understanding. So at the moment, your march, this group of people, is causing confrontation between different groups of people.
We're lesbian.
Confrontation between different groups of people, and she's a lesbian. She's supposed to be there. She's at a pride parade.
We're lesbians, it's gay pride.
Whatever you are at the moment is causing... Safely march yourself.
We don't want to do that. We want to be part of
your choice. So what I'm telling you is to make sure it's safe. We are going to remove you from the road, and I want you to do that of your own accord.
I want to make sure I understand that you're removing lesbians from like LGBT march.
Yes, that is.
Many LGBT people march at Pride and hold up banners and placards for their cause. This group of lesbians were marching with banners that said the following.
Let's have a little look about these signs, shall we, that these lesbians were holding up. Lesbians don't like penises. Well done, neither do I. You know why? Because I'm a straight guy and I like biological women. Just like lesbians. They're gay women who like biological women. Trans activism erases lesbians. They don't just erase lesbians, they erase women in general. Straight women, gay women. I mean, trans activism take females out of sports, entertainment, politics, etc. Now, the other one, the cotton sealing, I didn't really understand what that is, so I had to look it up, and it's pretty much the exact same thing they try to do to straight men. They try to shame them, they try to shame lesbians into having sexual intercourse or relations, or go on dates with them. They're pretty much trying to infiltrate lesbian nightclubs or lesbian spaces. And when lesbian women say, no, we are not interested in you, they shame them and call them transphobic, bigots. You know the usual verbal diarrhea that they come up with.
lesbians don't like penises, trans activism erases lesbians, and the cotton ceiling is rape. Some of these might require some explanation.
And he gets somebody on that explains it. This lesbian woman on, who explains she was there. She was actually in the Pride March that the police officers told them to leave. So I'm going to show you the clip now of him interviewing her and let her explain what was going on.
Thank you very much for joining me today. Angela, we could hear you in the video there, and you were effectively told by the police that you weren't able to be there. You're a lesbian group. You're there to protest. You had banners saying lesbians don't like penises, and you were protesting against the way in which gender identity ideology has been hostile to lesbian women. Can you explain exactly what happened and how the confrontation emerged?
We got surrounded by both the police and trans activists who were becoming more and more hostile towards us and closer as well towards us. The police then said, "You are obstructing the march. We are going to remove you." And that's part of the clip that you saw. They threatened some of us with forcible removal. They threatened some of us with arrest. So that's what happened. I'm not sure you hear me properly here.
No, I can hear you perfectly well, Angela. I wanted to just clarify that because, in fairness, I should say the police issued a statement and they made the claim that the lesbian activists were blocking the march and therefore they had no choice but to remove you.
That's not correct. That's not accurate.
Now, some people will be astonished at the idea that at a pride parade, pride has always been a protest event, that lesbians who are protesting for their cause should be asked to leave. I mean, that doesn't really make sense to a lot of people. Can you explain, it's a very complicated issue, I understand, but can you explain what are the main concerns that your group has and what are your aims?
So our name is Get the Hell Out, and what we have been talking about for a number of years is that the LGBT, we don't call it that anymore, the LGBT doesn't represent lesbians and actually work against lesbians. There is this myth that the LGBT is this great family and that everybody has the same common goal and the same issues. It's not true. In fact, within this LGBT family, you have several groups that sometimes outright conflict very, very badly. So, for example, for a lesbian, our rights are in direct conflict with men who identify as lesbians. And so we are talking about this. We are saying it's not possible. For example, one of the reasons that we wanted to march is to talk about that specifically and say that we do not like men. We do not have, no, sorry, it's not like we don't like that. It's that we do not want to have relationship with men, and that we do not like penises. And this, I think, is the reason we got removed. There is this this idea that this is a transphobic thing to say.
Well, no, this is astonishing, isn't it? Because the idea that lesbians are not interested in people with penises seems to be a given, right? I mean, that should be... Yeah. But actually it's not. I mean, you mentioned on one of the banners that you had, it talked about how the cotton ceiling discourse is equivalent to... And what people won't understand what the cotton ceiling is. Well, maybe you can explain it to us. What exactly is the cotton ceiling?
So the cotton ceiling is the sexual pressure, the coercion, and sometimes sexual violence that lesbians experience at the hand of men who identify as trans. So there's this idea that men who identify as lesbians are being victimized by lesbians when we refuse to have sex with them. So the cotton of the cotton ceiling is actually the underwear of the lesbian, which is seen as representing a barrier to real trans rights. We are gatekeeping these men's womanhood, their validation. And this is seen as very hateful. It's seen as a hate crime. We are routinely called Nazis. And I mean, it's ridiculous. I was hearing your interview before. This is exactly the same thing that happened to us. We've been called sexual racist by Nancy Kelly from Stonewall for the statement that we do not want to have sex with male people.
Now, you heard this, right, and I'm not shocked. The reason why I'm not shocked, because this has been going on against straight men from the get-go. The second straight men said no to transgender women, we was called bigots, we were called Nazis, we was called transphobes, okay, and the gay community, sadly, took the trans community side and threw us under the bus. Now, the crosshair has moved from us towards lesbian women, which I knew was going to happen. Why? Because lesbian women and straight men are on the same team. The same team, which is Team Vagina. We like biological females. And because we said no, and now lesbians are saying no because they feel unsafe, just like our daughters felt unsafe allowing transgender men, or transgender women, sorry, into our toilets, changing rooms, etc. And now they're coming for you. And they will come for you. And then they'll come for the gay men. Because gay men don't like vaginas. And transgender men have vaginas. You see where this is going? I have said this before and I will keep on saying it. The LGBT has hijacked the gay community. The gay community was two things. Gay men, gay women. That's it. And then bisexuals wanted to have a little go, wanted to feel part of the group, so they allowed bisexuals in, even though I believe being gay and being straight isn't a choice. You was born gay, you was born straight, while bisexuals choose to have each partner, male and then female, whenever they like. And you have to take it back. You have to take your community back, because they are turning your community into a circus show. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have to shoot off now. Thank you very much for watching. Again, I've said this in my last videos. If you got this far, thank you so much. If you would like to share it, I will appreciate it. If you want to like it and subscribe, thank you so much. And I will see you again next time. And ladies, especially lesbian women, you need to stand up. You need to have your voices heard, and you need to say no. Again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time.